Okay, we're here with Underoath, and this is Grant, and we're in Virginia Beach. And let's just hop into the questions.
All right.
Okay, what was the common ground that brought Underoath together as a band?
Back in '98, the people that originally started the band, it was a high school band, and it was like a Christian metal band. So everyone was Christian, everyone liked metal, and that kind of. That's pretty much it.
Are you guys still a Christian band?
No, not anymore.
And do you feel as though you guys are still the same band now that you intended to be when you first started out?
No. I mean, we're not a metal band either, so
yeah.
I guess those are the two things when we started out. But I think that we've kind of kept the same lines of just trying to push ourselves musically and put out better music every time. So in that regard, yeah, I'd say so. But you know, people change. It's been 12 years as a band, so yeah. And I can't expect everyone to be the same, and there's different members, different ideas, and whatever.
Right. So do you all have common musical influences?
Yeah, we have common ones, and we have a lot of like diverse ones. Everyone kind of has their own thing. Like literally, like 6 different guys listen to different things all the time. But stuff like Refused at the Drive-In, and like everyone likes like Poison the Well, Jimmy World, stuff like that. Like that kind of all.
Right. You guys are on your 6th album, correct?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think so. 6 or 7.
Has the process gotten any easier, or do you feel like you guys trump yourself with each record?
I mean, every record's different, honestly. Like, some records come out really easily, like writing wise. Like the last one we wrote in 6 weeks. Other ones we've written take 2 years. You never really know. It's just where everyone's at and what everyone's into at the time. And then you go in the studio, and that itself is a whole other ordeal, like a whole process. Sometimes that's smooth. Sometimes that's like mind breaking. Just like everyone hates everyone. But yeah. It's kind of all for, like I said, like the greater good of the music. Like this last record we wrote really quick, but we went in the studio and we became just like super analytical on every little like thing, and everyone disagreed, and so like it just took forever to get like everyone happy. But
what do you believe is the driving force that's kept Underoath moving forward and continuing to make records?
We just all love music. I mean, passion for music and just writing good music, I think is something that we're all friends, and we all want to put out the best thing possible, and you just enjoy it. I mean, if you at this point, if you have the passion for it, it's like something you can't really not do. You know what I mean? It's
right.
Like it's part of who you are.
And are there any albums that, if given the chance, you'd like to go back and change a few things?
Yeah, all of them for sure. I mean, that's with anything. I mean, I think anyone that's an artist or produces some kind of piece of art or whatever you want to call it, like, will always look back and be like, oh, I could have spent more time here, or fixed that, or done more here, or less there. And I think that it'll always be like that, but we're always satisfied and happy when it comes out, you know?
Right. And then your latest record, Disambiguation, seems to be a slight departure from the earlier writing styles. Was this on purpose, or is that just how things ended up once the recording was finished?
It wasn't on purpose. It was just natural progression. I think we had a couple member changes. Spencer took over vocals, and we wrote the record really quick and with new guys, so it was just kind of like we got together and all agreed that wherever the writing goes, we're cool with it, and just, you know, go wherever it takes us. And so before, it's always been like kind of like, oh, we have this in mind, or this and this, so this one just came out, and like definitely stoked on it. But yeah, I think that it's like kind of almost like a new page, fresh start, and I think the next one will be more like refined on what the direction we were all happy with about the last one, and continue going with.
Right. Underoath is definitely one of those bands that comes up frequently on the list of bands that inspires us. Knowing you have that effect on bands, do you feel like you have a standard to live up to outside of just writing music for yourselves?
Not really. I mean, like, I don't look at it like outside of the music and stuff. I think that like the way we live and act kind of goes through to the music, but I don't like keeping holding together. I think that, like I said, we're the kind of people that just keep it legit and real, and like if something sucks, like it sucks, and if something's good, it's good, and you're in control of what you do, so you know, like do your best you can do at it, and that's pretty much all there is to it. You know, I mean, that sounds kind of cheesy, but it's like there's so many times when like bands ask me, like young bands, like, oh, what's the formula to get signed? What's the strategy to get big, to get on tour? And it's like there isn't like some like rule book on how to do it. You just do what you do the best you can, and
right.
If hopefully it works out. Like we got lucky. Like I don't think that Underoath, all the good things that have happened to us are because like we followed some strategy. We just do what we love, and people latched onto it. It was the right time, right place, and yeah.
Makes sense. You've been touring for quite a long time. Do you have any memorable tours that stick out in your minds, like best and worst?
Best tours, probably like we did this tour. We're doing again this next year, but in Australia, called Soundwave, which is just like a big festival tour. It's like 2 weeks, and it's like 50 bands, and it's just, when we did it the first time, and it was just all these bands that we loved and that we're friends with, and so you're hanging out with like, it's like Warped Tour, but better and quicker, and not like you stay in hotels. It's not like dirty and long. I don't know. It's just awesome.
Right.
Worst tours, gosh. The first tour I ever did in Europe sucked so bad. Like it was January, February. We were sharing a bus. There was like an 18-person bus, but somehow there was like 22 people on it, and people just got sick, and we were playing. It was just super depressing. I'm from Florida, so I've grown up there my whole life, and so I'm like the sun, and like to see the sun and see people, and like for some reason, I don't know the time of the year or whatever, but it was like there was no sun at all. Like I saw it twice, like the whole tour, like 3.5 weeks, and then like we would get to these venues, we'd roll up at like 4 or 5 p.m. and like the town would just be like empty already, like everyone had gone home from work.
Right.
So we're just playing this like little dirt hole bars with no one. Like I'd walk around empty towns all the time. It was just really depressing.
Yeah, that's how it is over there.
It's been better since. Don't get me wrong. The first time sucked. It's been better every time.
Oh yeah, you guys are a little more established. How do you think the swing from hard copies versus the digital has affected your success as a band over the years?
It's definitely, you know, as far as like that goes, I mean, we never really were a band that made money, well, off of like CD, like royalties or anything like that, for the most part. Like maybe a little bit here and there, but nothing like major. We made all our money off touring and stuff and that kind of thing. I think it hasn't really affected us in that regard. I think if anything, it's affected just the general scene, because like, and it's not really even just downloads, just the digital age. Like now there's like, gosh, there's so many bands. Like every day there's a new band somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, there's 50 right behind it. So it's like there's so many bands trying to do it in the same thing. There's so many bands that sound like other bands, and like, so as far as for us, like touring and stuff, like it's, for any band right now, touring is a lot harder, especially in the rock scene, because there's just so many bands doing it, and there's kids only have so much money to go to shows and stuff. So you know, it's like you're battling, I guess if you want to call it that, for like getting a kid to come to your show is just way more
Intense.
Yeah, intense, and just, yeah.
How do you think, just asked that one. How do you feel about touring outside the States? Do you love it, hate it, or it doesn't really matter?
I like it. I mean, I love the States. Like, for me, having my cell phone and convenience of being in the States is awesome, but there's definitely like aspects of like other areas in the world that I love. Like probably Australia and New Zealand are like two of my favorite places to go ever. Like we've been to South Africa, which ruled. South America's awesome. Canada's cool. Europe is either like hit or miss for me. some countries I love, and then there's some countries I can't really get into, but like it's all good times. Yeah, you know.
Have you noticed a difference in your fan base over the years as your music progressed?
Yeah, it's a lot of times, especially this tour. I feel like we were talking about the other day, like so many kids have been like, oh, I loved you guys in high school, and you're just like, wow, I'm so old now, you know. But not in a bad way. It's cool. It's just funny to like think of like jumping in a van when I was 20 and just going, and now I just turned 30 on this tour, and it's like there's still kids, like there's kids that are in high school still starting, like discovering us, and there's kids that are like my age that have been listening to us, and it's cool. It's a definitely a little more rounded, you know, and I think that also goes with like us progressing as musicians. Like we're not obviously as poppy as we were, kind of thing, and like we're not like the hit new screamo band or whatever. So with that regards, I think that the crowd's very diverse at our shows now, which is cool.
How do you guys, where do you guys feel most comfortable, on the road or in the studio?
On the road. I mean, studio's like once every 2 years for like 6 weeks. And it's great, but the road is just home, you know, just used to it.
Are there any producers out there that stand out to you as far as you wanting to work with them?
Yeah, I mean, there's like dream guys that would rule. It would probably never happen, like Rick Rubin's and stuff like that. But there's I'd really like to work with Ross Robinson. I think he's a really cool guy. He's done a couple Norma Jean and records and some other stuff that I really am into. Yeah, producers. Yeah, there's some guys. I don't know. It's a weird thing because it's like the guys that like I said, like Rick Rubin, stuff like that, are like, you know, you need like $1 million budget, which isn't going to happen. But I think there's a lot of like undiscovered talent in that industry too, which is awesome. Like we did our last record with this guy Matt Goldman from Atlanta, and he's worked on the one before that, the two before that as well. And he's kind of like a low-key guy, but like as far as just like studio comfort and vibe, like he rules. Like such a good time and a good experience, and a really smart producer.
Right. What are some things coming up in the immediate future?
In the immediate future, we're taking a long break, actually. A couple of guys are having babies, so you can't really tour with that. And then we're doing, like I said, that Soundwave tour, and we're working on, which is like almost confirmed, so I don't know if I should say it or not, but we're going to go to Asia, which we haven't been to yet, like Indonesia and stuff around there. And then you're going to come home and hopefully record a new record. That's the goal. I'm going to try and write this like January-ish.
Where is Underoath at mentally as a band? Do you feel like you have accomplished everything you set out to, or are there still some unresolved goals?
Yeah, I feel like literally, like, as far as my goals go, I accomplished everything back in like 2004. Like I didn't really have like these big goals. I remember one goal I had that I wanted to, when we put out Chasing Safety, I wanted to sell 50,000 records. That was like the dream for me, and like we did that, which was awesome, and surpassed it. And like all the stuff on top of that, like we've had like Grammy nominations, and we've had like, you know, got to see the whole, and so I've pretty much seen been everywhere in the world and stuff like that. Like has been just a blessing beyond that, like not expected at all. Like I just wanted to go out and play music for people, so it was, you know, get in a van and go play. And so yeah, I'm thankful for everything. If it ended today, tonight was the last show ever, I'd be totally stoked on what happened, how it happened, where I ended up.
And any closing statements for your fans watching?
We'll see you guys next year, because we're going to take a little break.
And that's all.